What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport. Thanks again for joining me. We're going to dive right back into the 96 SC300. If you missed the last video, we started to put the rear bumper on and found out there's a slight bend in the inside of the frame. So basically, nothing that's going to cause any issues in driving, but the bumper has been shifted up and kind of skewed. I also don't think that these bumpers line up that great, so you probably would have to do some adjustments no matter what, and we're having to do quite a bit. So I got up early this morning and I started to plan out how I was going to grind it down, and I found using the drill right here allows me to kind of go slowly and grind this down without getting any major chips or flakes, because what I found was when I used something that was a little bit faster, like a wheel grinder, it was spinning off chunks of the fiberglass coating that's on there, and then you got to deal with filling and more body work. So I'm going to slowly grind away at this. We're going to basically use a pencil here, mark it, and then we're going to tack up our over fender, which is the 50mm, and then we're going to try to line that up and make all the adjustments we need, and then we're going to move to the other side, which is our better side. So this one doesn't have much issues to it. We just got to grind down a little bit along here, and we have a little bit of a gap there, but I think what we're going to do is just fill everything. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to get set up. I'm going to start measuring and grinding. I'm going to speed through that, and then we're going to tack up the over fender. Alright guys, it is getting much closer. So basically got all of this mounted up, and I've just been slowly grinding this down so that I can pull this up into this, and then we can kind of line it up the best we can. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off and then show you guys how everything lines up. It's getting exciting because it's going to look really good when we finish this off. Okay guys, so I've pretty much shaped this properly. I just need to go down a little bit more, and now what I've done is I went ahead and basically self-tapped into the frame of the car these L brackets right here. They're nice and sturdy, and what that's going to allow me to do then is pull this off, screw into this piece that way so it's off the car by about 1.5 inches, making it closer to this. Then I can rivet these into the L bracket and have everything kind of tied together. It's still going to be off a little bit, but then I can do is fiberglass all of this to blend. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but it's really the only way to fix the issue without having the entire frame reshaped. Now down here, because that we're going that route, this no longer is going to line up with this. It's going to be off by a hair. So I'm going to weld on a piece of metal there so we can then screw this piece into that metal, because it's basically going to match right up to this. So there's no way to mount that to the frame, and this has so much stress on it right now. I want to be able to pull it in, tidy it up, and then basically pull everything in right here. And I may end up doing some L brackets or some kind of bracket right here too, so that everything is kind of nice and stiff, so that if somebody presses on the car, we're not going to have any issues of cracking or anything like that if we paint it, or even just the filling cracking, because I'm probably going to end up going with a wrap. Now onto the other side, because we have some small issues, not nearly what we have on that side, but right now what's happening here is this is too far out, so it's a real easy fix. I'm going to take my grinding wheel and basically grind down some of this, and then be able to press that against there. Other than that, this side's actually lining up very well. This just happened because I had it on top of the car, the wind caught it, so that's all going to need to be filled, but it's okay because these corners don't line up anyways once you pull everything in. So I'm going to have to create a little corner there so it doesn't look all funky, and we're going to have to reshape around the light there. So a ton of work, like I said, guys, in order to get this to line up properly and look like it was from the factory. Now, will it look like it came from the factory? I hope so, but it's going to take an insane amount of work. I'm going to do my best to make this thing look as perfect as I can, but it is a track car, not a show car, but I do want to bring it to shows in between track days. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start tidying all this up. I'll fill you in on little things here and there, and I'll show you the final results. So guys, another day. I've put a tremendous amount of work into this rear end, but I love how it's coming out. Let me show you guys these brackets once again, and I went ahead and just cut this piece out of a basically a back of a computer and cut it to shape the best I could. And what I'm going to do is tack that in with some screws and then probably weld it right along there to get it to be real secure. And what that's going to do is allow me to pull up this fender up and under here, and you can see there it just misses because of the bend in this area right here being upward. So by putting that in there, it's going to allow me to attach this along there but line up with this, which then I can pull all this in, and once we do all the fiberglassing and filling that's necessary, it'll all blend together and it won't look out of shape. So hopefully I can get all this done tonight before it gets dark, and then we can basically start doing the filling after that. That'll probably be on the next episode. So I'm probably gonna get all this tacked together and then show you guys a walk around, and then we'll go ahead on the next episode and start finalizing cutting these pieces, because I do want to cut these along here so that I can blend it a lot better than the way that they've set it up, because I don't like how they just kind of want you to blend it here. That looks funky to me. I think that by cutting it here, first off, see that massive gap, it'll eliminate that gap and allow you to tack it down here with the rivets and then blend it into that pillar there. So let me know what you guys think so far, all the work that's been involved, if you think that this is something you would want to do, and what you guys like or dislike about this body kit, because I'm loving the way it looks, obviously, but it is, to me, a much cheaper product than I expected, and the quality of everything is just not there, in my opinion, for what you pay for these. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you think about what I'm doing to this to kind of modify it to fit into this car, considering the body damage, and what you guys would have done differently. So let me go ahead, I'm going to tack all this up, and then we're going to basically put it all together. So guys, I know you got a laugh out of that little welding session there. I want you to understand, this is my $99 Harbor Freight welder, and this is only the second time I've really been able to pull this out. If you guys have been with me for a while, I did a video that semi blew up. It actually got me like 40,000 views. And I didn't expect it to do it. I just bought the welder for Christmas, opened it up, and unbelievable how many people get so angry when you're showing something for the first time and you're not perfect at it. Oh, you're doing that wrong, you're doing this wrong. But that's the point, guys. This is to show you that if you're afraid of doing things, you'll never know how to do them. So whenever you get a chance to do something that you really want to do, I have a passion and a desire to weld, but I'll never be good at it unless I continuously do it. And for me to do it on film is fun, because I get your critique. Some of you guys really know what you're doing, and you're gonna fill me in positively and say, hey, I was worse than that, or you know, you're doing this wrong, maybe you should adjust this, because honestly, I'm just winging it and it's fun and I enjoyed it. Now it's on there. That's the best part, is this weld actually worked. I went ahead and grinded it because it was so boogered up on there, just because I wasn't moving it fast enough. Maybe my settings are wrong. You guys can let me know, obviously. But it's on there. And I'm probably going to keep those couple of bolts in there just as extra protection. This is going nowhere. Now I can tack all this up. You'll never, ever see that welding unless somebody takes this off in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this tacked up. I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. And I hope you guys had a laugh like me while watching that. So guys, I think it was a pretty good success if you look down here. So my goal is probably to cut this metal down and go with a flatter style bolt here. Get this to kind of pull in a little bit more and replace these, because I want to do is kind of flat head screws, and then we're going to fiberglass over that, make this all one flush piece. We're going to fiberglass basically in between that gap, because there's no way that we're going to make that look like it's stock with a good gap, because everything is just so off. And then down here, I'll show you what the goal is here. I've still got to cut some of this fiberglass because it won't line up, but basically pull that off. I can get from the inside here and jack that out, and then screw from underneath to hold those together. And also we've got those L brackets, so I'll be able to screw into the L bracket into here to keep that in place and tack this down a little bit more. Hopefully I didn't lose you on that. This will then tack back down and bend in. We'll have to fill a little bit along here and create more of a seamless look. Hopefully that doesn't look too off there, if we can get that to kind of tack back in. This side is lining up a lot better. I know I showed you guys this a little bit ago, and once again we're going to cut this across here. So I'm going to end the video here just because there was so much work done just on what you guys see. I've still got to pull these panels off. The owner before me rolled the fenders, but they never sealed it off, primed it or anything, so it's starting to get a little bit of surface rust. So we're going to pull these off, do that. We're going to start shaping everything, because even these corner pieces from the factory are rounded and they should come to a point. So we're going to have to kind of reshape some of that into place. I can show you better over here. And of course, all these panels are missing pieces of the coating, so I'm going to have to fill and sand and do a whole bunch of stuff. But it's okay, guys. I'm enjoying this. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I'm kind of glad I'm doing it on a car that is so far from perfect. And there's one more thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this and it's been bugging you, how much out this is. Now, this can be pressed back in. I've already played around with it, and hopefully I can make some sort of bracket that I can bring this in and go ahead and rivet it to it. And then this door we're going to bang out a little bit, because that is dented in, and fill all this and hopefully get a nice seamless look there. So everything's going to look really, really good. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not, but it's going to look 1,000 times better than this car did when we first got it, because you know this is called Frankenstein because of how absolutely terrible the body was on this. It had pieces from all different cars, plastic headlights, the plastic high beam headlights, and just mismatched things here and there. Even this tail light has a crack in it, so we'll have to be replacing that. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me on this project. I'm excited where this is going, and I can't wait to see it in its final stage. When we go ahead and unveil, we're going to wrap, paint, plastic dip, whatever we do. I know you're going to absolutely love it, so I'm excited. Have an awesome day, a blessed week, and see you next time.